you are a kid and you watch this, you better not do what Ren does. This is a cartoon about a bad person. And if you do what Ren does in this cartoon, you're going to hell.
Well, that's ironic coming from somebody who we're talking about today. Now, for those who don't know about John Kricfalusi, he is the creator of Ren and Stimpy, and he's also known for other couple bad shows here, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys, I'm not a fan of John K. at all. I did once in a while watch Ren and Stimpy growing up, but I wouldn't say that was my favorite cartoon to watch back in the days. But again, we're not going to be talking about his cartoons. We're going to be talking about the controversies that's been going on about him. Now, I'm pretty late to be talking about this, but it's never too late to talk about this man, considering how I strongly feel against him. His art style is very suggestive. He's mostly known for really gross out imagery, and it's not always been my favorite thing, but I know there's a group of people out there in this world that love to watch that stuff, but honestly, his gross outs never really bothered me that much. That doesn't mean I liked most of them, but that never really bothered me. Except for Adult Party cartoon. That was fucking horrendous. I don't know what to say about this. All the things you guys have been hearing about him and all the controversy, but let's just say that this man is fucking insane. I've heard about him being hard to work with in studios at Spunko, which was the old animation studio he had at the time. But I gotta tell you right now, his antics at the workroom with other people is nothing compared to what I've heard about him recently this year. He's also, unfortunately, been accused of sexual harassment. Yes, sexual harassment at the workplace, and even outside of the workplace, especially when it came to two young girls. Yeah, you heard that right, young girls. Now, I've heard about this for a while. If you wanted to hear more about this in another video somebody made, I linked you to Blame It on George's video about that. He did a perfect analysis on the entire scandal that's been going on around. I really don't even know what to say, honestly. As somebody who's an artist myself, this is actually not too surprising that he's hard to work with and that he likes to slack off and do what he wants to do. For crying out loud, he had an animated short from his Kickstarter page that was back in 2012 and wasn't released until this year. As far as John K. himself, I don't think he's a very good person to be around with. Whether you love his cartoons or not, you have to admit he's a terrible human being. I mean, despite being hard to work with in studios and all of that, I know he definitely is some way attracted to young girls. I mean, for crying out loud, he dated a girl when she was 16 years old and he was almost 40. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't even know what to say. Now, normally, I don't like BuzzFeed at all. BuzzFeed has got to be one of the worst news sources I've honestly been to, but my God, they actually did a pretty good job at an article. But the article that I'm going to show you is actually from a quote that John K.'s lawyer said. You see this that I highlighted here? Even back then in the 90s or in 2008, people knew it was wrong to be harassing people, especially harass and sexually harass kids. What John K. did was just unexcusable. Whether or not he was going through shit after Ren and Stimpy, I don't think John K. will ever recover for what he has done. How this day and age goes is that once you are accused of something, somehow it is automatically that your career's over and nobody wants you anymore. Not everybody, I mean, there's definitely been disprovens before where people have been accused of something and it never really happened. But I think in John's case here, I honestly and somewhat believe it, because considering that he actually has a drawing called Sody Pop, who's a 15-year-old girl that he created to look as sexy. It's disgusting. Like, look at this.
I think Katie showed me one time. She drew, I was at her 15th birthday party. We'll tell you that backstory a little bit later. And she showed me her sketchbook, and one of the drawings in it was a copy of a drawing I did of my character, Sody Pop. You still have that drawing?
Yes, it's not very good.
Like, what do you even say to that? As far as we know about him today is that all he really does now is, I don't think he's really doing any other animated projects at this moment. I mean, after this whole incident, I'm not even sure. But he also has his own blog now that he posts and sells artwork now onto nowadays. But after this whole incident, I'm not sure. As far as his art goes, I'm not gonna say it's the most disturbing unless we're talking about adult party cartoon. Everything else with this artwork, except Sody Pop, it's for the most part not as bad as people make it out to be. I mean, he's definitely one of those people I would never want to meet in real life. I don't know, this is just somebody who clearly is mentally not well, and if he has something like bipolar or some personality disorder, I wouldn't be that surprised. I think he's just fucking nuts. I mean, even commented, no joke, one time to one of the girls that was working for him, he might rape her.
What? What the fuck?
But yet again, this is coming from a man who is honestly attracted to young girls, hard to work with at an animation studio, and has opinions that are completely different from most sane people. What they think of a cartoon, just all around not mentally well. Now, the other things I've heard about him was that Katie Rice, who is one of the girls that was unfortunately, in my opinion, was more than likely sexually harassed by this man. She even said one day when she went to his house, he was, no joke, naked, and said to her that he would like to rape her one day. No, I am not joking. If you want to read more about this information, I left that article down in the description below where I read it. Like, I have nothing to say. This man clearly needs help. Even Animat even said that up on one of his podcasts too, which, by the way, if you haven't checked out that he did, I'll leave also that video down in the description below as well. That's all I really gotta say. There's really nothing much I can say about John Kricfalusi. He's just a man who is clearly not mentally well for an artist and an animator. Before I end up the video right here, I just want to say sorry not uploading a video for 3 weeks with work and all the shit that's been going around with me, but everything else has been good now, and everything is a lot better than last month, so I'm glad everything went alright with me. I also wanted to share out that Blair White and Calvin Guerra actually like my Instagram post one day. That is amazing. I would just like to thank Blair White and Calvin Guerra for that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, make sure to like it, make sure to subscribe to me, and leave a comment if you want to. You can even share this video out to the world if you want to as well. Don't forget to support me on Patreon, and also check out my other social media down below. And if you want to buy any merch or prints, I also have my DeviantArt and Redbubble down below as always. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.